Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the pre-production meeting. I'm your co-host, Josh Arcott, and I'm here with
Daniel.
Nice, and welcome back to the pre-production meeting of what episode? It's the Big 6-9. The Big 6-9, and we totally forgot about it.
That it is.
It is. And, this is a film podcast about, film news, our films in production, and, we talk about film. Dan, now you've been a bit busy.
Are we going to do these accents?
Yeah, what accent, all right? Go on.
Oh, man. Yes, I've been working on
You've been commuting around.
I've been driving. I've been running errands.
Yeah, sure.
Where are my hands? I need hands. Yeah.
Okay.
So first week down of Australian Idol.
Mate, what happened?
What do you mean what happened?
Now you're from Australia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you should be. Yeah, what's been happening, man?
Yeah, so just that's literally been it the past week since we did the last podcast. Just working on that grind. It's just the first week's just been in the office doing like pre-production before we do auditions for the show.
Yeah. So it hasn't even started yet.
No.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's just like leading up. I mean, some of the guys have been in there for months already when I came on, but it's just like doing a lot of paperwork and different things like that, making sure things are ready at the office, and then we start bumping stuff into the actual filming location next week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that'll be.
Are you one of the contestants?
No.
Oh, really? You have a beautiful
not this
voice.
year. Oh, thank you.
I'm kidding. You don't.
Do you reckon I could read an audiobook?
Oh, all right. Give us a go. I'm gonna close my eyes. I want you to read a little story for me.
Okay.
And do it in your best audiobook voice. Everybody at home, close your eyes as well and let Dan invade your ears.
Once upon a time, there was a boy named Josh Arcott. Josh wanted to be. It sounds like ASMR. Josh wanted to be a filmmaker, but what he didn't realize was that.
Here we go.
By making 30 minutes.
I fucking knew you were gonna say that. Go there.
You said you had a realization this week when you were listening to a podcast and someone said, "Good luck if you make 30-minute short films. It has to be."
No,
really
that
good."
was
and
when
then
I
I
was
was like, "If only someone had warned me."
No, that was when I was researching.
Oh, okay.
And I came to that realization was there in fucking bolded writing.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So is that when it hit you?
Mate, we'll get into that a bit later on, all right? But yeah, so office job, not for you. You couldn't see yourself doing an
my
office
preference
job.
is always going to be on set.
You think everybody with office jobs should be a scum? That's what that's what you said to me earlier this week.
No, that's not why I came on this podcast, Josh, to be ridiculous. No, look, I definitely much prefer being on set, but it's fine for the time being. It's only temporary, and you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep.
And there are benefits to, office jobs. The hours are a little bit better than being on set. But there's sort of a divide where, I don't know, I feel like when you're on set, people are more there. It seems like people are more there for the passion and the love of it. And that's why you have these long hours, but people sort of stick it out.
Wait, did you say people are there for the passion rather than...
Yeah, I mean, in terms
isn't that the same thing? Passion and the love of it?
Yes, I'm saying that's combined into one
Oh, right.
sentence.
Okay, yes, sorry. Yeah.
Not
you mean people... Oh,
contradictory.
yes. Okay, so people are on set are there for the passion and love of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Whereas with office jobs, I feel like a lot of the time people are just there to sort of clock in and clock out, and then their life exists outside of that. But I think for people who spend a lot of time on set, it's sort of like the set is your life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the office job, I think, comes with a lot of security. I think you have to be a special kind of... You have to have a little screw loose if you want to be in the kind of creative arts.
I think so, yeah. But I understand why people like the safety and security of it.
And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that...
It's just not for me.
Yeah, it's just not for you.
And not for you, probably.
No, not for me. I mean, I kind of work an office job. I wouldn't really say it's your regular office job, though. But
see, like when I was at Sky News, I was in an office as well. I was in an office as well, per se, but it was different because I was in a control panel room, like doing different things.
Yeah.
It's not so much like sitting at a computer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's different.
100%. You're not just typing
like filling
stuff.
out spreadsheets.
I was just about to say that, yeah. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, but like it's a good team. I enjoy everyone that I work with.
Exactly.
So I can't complain. No complaints at all about anything so far. So yeah, it's been a good experience.
You've had no free time this week, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, not really, because I've got also my editing work, my freelance editing work that I come home, have a shower, have dinner, and then I've been churning through some of that. Yeah, I've got a bit of a backlog that I'm getting through, and then also other projects I'm editing.
Have you started? Oh fuck it, we'll get into it a bit later.
Started what?
The editing your projects.
I started the other night cracking into the music video a little bit.
Oh, that's
I've just
right.
got to finish off. But the interesting thing is that I have to take what already exists from the previous editor and then try and make it cohesive with my editing style and fuse it all into one cohesive thing. So we'll see how that works.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so
there you go.
That's it. Not too much else other than that, really. Just the notions of life.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a guest on today.
Yes, we were.
And then
we'll have him on soon. But you know what? It's like that's the film life, right?
That's
Things
life,
come
man.
up and his rap time changed, and that's fine. We'll get him on another time, and it'll be good.
But stay tuned. I think we got Austin coming back sometime soon as well.
Yep.
But we'll have a couple guests coming up because you're not going to be as available.
Yes.
For the
I'm
next
only
couple
available
weeks.
weekends. Oh no, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm actually available next Wednesday, so we could.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, I think Austin said he's free Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays.
Could do a trio episode.
That would be really good. But yeah.
And Austin has a bit to talk about now that he's sort of, his situation has changed slightly with his jobs.
And I think it'll be interesting. Kind of. I mean, we all had a massive chat kind of on the group chat this week when Austin sent in his new script, and it would be interesting hearing how he's taken that feedback.
Yes, for sure. And I actually really liked how graceful he was about
I think
that.
so too, man.
He took it really well, and he was like, that's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And has hopefully applied those changes.
Well, we had an extra convo on the side, and it's like you got to be able to take those. I wouldn't say criticisms. I would just say like, what are they? They're not criticisms. They're like, I don't know.
I mean,
like
it is
guiding
though,
hands.
but it's like it's not like it's constructive criticism. Is what it is.
Exactly, and like
and as we said, like if you can't take it, then you're not really cut out for this industry.
Exactly.
If you're the kind of person who's going to be like, well, my work's not good enough. I feel like it's almost entitlement to be like, oh, it's not good enough now. I'm just going to stop doing this. You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
like, no, if you want to make something good, you just keep working at it until it's good.
There's going to be
you know what I mean?
so everybody's.
And there are a few people I've met that are like that are just
Yeah.
like, oh, it's not good. I'm just going to leave it. Like,
yeah, you're not going to get anywhere.
or they
in
think that
life
they
if
should
you're
be
like that.
better. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, you just got to keep working and keep swimming.
Yeah.
And oh man, we've seen so many people drop off over the years since film.
Yeah,
school
and look, it's like it doesn't make. We're not saying that we're any better than those people
Not
because
at
everyone
all.
has their own path in life.
Exactly.
And
But the same similarity between all those paths
Yeah.
is everybody does go through their own separate shit. You know, it's a bit incomparable, the paths. But I think the one constant is you just got to keep pushing and keep making.
Yeah, and you have to prioritize.
Yes.
As well.
Absolutely. And that's where the passion and the creativity and stuff
I think the
into
biggest shift for me this year was just prioritizing filmmaking and directing. And when I put that at the forefront, everything changed in my life, really. So
everything?
everything.
Nice. Good man.
We've
All
spoken
right.
about this, but yeah. Now tell me about you.
Yeah, no, it's actually been quite an eventful week in terms of oh fuck. Wait, did I talk to you? Oh no, I can talk to you about it on the podcast or off of it. But it's been quite an eventful week in terms of post production for The Horologist, and I've just been watching a lot. I've managed to drag myself to the movies like twice this week, and then a whole bunch of TV shows have started.
I know you saw Blink twice and you found it pretty terrifying.
Yeah. I'll talk about that. That's really interesting. But yeah, it's been quite an eventful week. Just been, I'm enjoying having a little bit of time off. Sorry to rub it in your face.
No, it's fine.
But you're gonna
I'm
that.
gonna have a big chunk
You
at the end of
are.
the year, hopefully, unless things come up. But
Brother, you need to. It's the end of the
fine.
year.
I'm good. Like,
Yeah, of course. Well, it's
I'm fine.
Nah, you are fine. Things in your life are looking up, my friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been a good week, and let's get into it. So, did you literally watch nothing?
Yeah, literally. I think. Let me just confirm with my Letterboxd. But I'm pretty sure the only thing I watched was one episode of The Bear.
Oh,
and I think it's.
Well, that's what we can delve into because that was one of the things I was going to talk about.
Oh, really? The Bear?
Yeah. Is that what you said? Hands.
Yeah.
Hands. Go on now.
Well, I've seen that clip. I haven't. Actually, I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen that episode.
Right. They say hands like every episode.
Yeah. I think it's the episode. It's episode 6. I think the next one's the one where it's all one take.
Oh. So you've just started.
Yeah, I'm still pretty early into it.
Damn. Okay. Well, it's
not that long of a show, right? There's only like 3 seasons. What, 10 episodes each?
Yeah, I would say so. How are you liking it?
It's good. I think I've said this before. I think at this point, I feel like it's slightly overrated. In the sense that by now we've got a few more of these films and TV shows that are like that very erratic nature. Yeah. You know, like Uncut Gems and all that sort of stuff. That style of filmmaking's been done more now. I think if I watched this like 5-10 years ago, I would have been a lot more blown away by it.
Sure.
But that being said, like maybe from what I've heard, I think you mentioned this, that sometimes it takes a bit of time to warm up to the show.
For sure.
And I think now, like with this last episode, I was seeing a few more of those tender character moments that really draw you in. And I think that's when you start to really like get attached to a show. So, yeah.
I think it wasn't until after episode 7 where something really clicked on my mind going, God, this was good. Yeah. Season 2, I think, is probably the best.
Yep.
And then season 3 is still good, but it just doesn't, you know, not has blown me away as such as the other two have.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I really love it, man. And it's so funny. You mentioned the erratic kind of filmmaking, the consistency and how they keep that up for like 3 seasons and find ways to like reinvent it is incredible. And then you get some like guest stars just come out of nowhere, which are pretty incredible. So I still say
something interesting that I did notice, because I was sort of doing something similar for when I did my barista film, because it's very much quick cuts and all that kind of stuff. The differences between like him cooking stuff in the kitchen, where you know it's not the nicest kitchen and it's very erratic and people are yelling and all this stuff, and it's the shaky camera and the focus is breathing back and forth between all that kind of stuff. But then you know how you have those flashbacks to him when he's working in that gourmet restaurant that he used to work in, and it's like the camera is completely still. There's quick cuts, but the camera doesn't move, and it's always like sharp, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's
pristine
like it puts you in those two different worlds, and it really draws that contrast between them. It's really cool to see.
Oh, bro, I'm keen for you to keep watching and just hear your thoughts on it. I really love it. It's definitely skyrocketed to one of my favorite.
Oh, the episode I watched is when you see what's his name?
Don't spoil it. Is it the spoiler?
John Bernthal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, yes, I didn't know he's in this show.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, John Bernthal is like one of my favorite actors of all time.
Yeah, he's great.
And just seeing him, he actually won an Emmy. There's an episode in season 2, which he guest stars in. He's not in a lot, but like
I figured, but like considering who he plays.
I don't know if you've heard of like the dinner party episode.
I have, yeah.
So that he won an Emmy this year for it, for the guest star. That show racks up all the Emmys, bro. Okay, I think for as long as it's been on TV, it's like outdone itself every year and won the most amount of Emmys each time. Except for this year, I think Shogun was outshined. I still haven't seen Shogun. Have you seen it? You said
not yet.
No. I thought you had. No. Well, yeah, no. It's incredible, and I think Jeremy Allen White is fantastic.
Yes, he's very good.
Even the female lead, I don't know her name.
I can't remember her name, but Sydney in the show.
Yes, yeah, she's 100%. So good. And Richie as well.
Yes,
I think
he's man. He just gets like your heart racing, doesn't he? Because he's just so chaotic all the time.
He's, I think, out of everybody, his character arc's the best.
Okay.
Out of all the shows.
Yeah, cool.
Out of all the seasons, but definitely continue watching. It'll be interesting to hear about what you think. But yeah, was that it?
Yes, that's it for me.
Damn, wow.
You?
Many words today.
I don't have much.
No, it's all right. We're working with what we got just to bring you guys an episode every week. We'll try to, at least.
Thanks, guys.
But so, I've seen quite a bit. Let's start with TV shows because we're already on that. Yeah. So The Bear, I think I'm up to episode 7 of season 3, so I only have a couple left.
So almost left. Has the show finished or it's still going?
Yeah, it's still going. Well, I mean, it's finished season 3, but season 4 is ramping up to release in the summer next year or something like that. Cool. And it's like every year that they've been on, they've released a season each year, which is insane if you think about the turnaround. Especially like Ebon Moss-Baccarat is now doing Fantastic Four as the thing, and like now, like seeing that turnover, like, and to be fair, they are only 10 episodes, and like they did one take, so like I can imagine sometimes it may be not that hard to go time wise, but it's incredible, and it just keeps getting better. I'm very much in love with that show, and it's definitely creeped up into like my top 3 or something like that of shows all the time. I just love it. And then what's another show? There's been a couple shows that have started this week. believe it or not, so I gave this show, I came up with extremely low expectations. Agatha, all along the new Marvel
that come
show.
out?
So that came out this week,
Right.
the first 2 episodes,
Yeah.
and I went into it going, why the fuck are they making an Agatha show out of everybody? And I went into it with extremely low expectations, and then I started like seeing reviews, and people are saying it's all right. I'm like, all right, we'll see. I'll give it a crack. Anyways, I watched it, and I got to say, it's pretty good compared to the shit that we've got recently, like from Marvel, especially TV shows wise. I think it's I think it's
What's good about it?
pretty good. It's a different. I don't think we've seen this kind of genre. I think in Marvel before. It really goes down those horror routes.
Okay.
Not super horror, but
like
just
kind of like Doctor Strange 2 vibes? Or?
Yeah, I would say it's more like based on witches and the supernatural and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's also like Catherine Hahn is fantastic as the lead, and they got a great supporting cast as well. Aubrey Plaza is there as well. And Joe Locke, who was in, I don't know if you've seen like Heartstopper and stuff like that. He's fantastic. And there's a lot of mystery and intrigue that really drew me to it, and like throughout the episodes, like kept me guessing. And it's like now I want to see what happens. I want to see more. I think it's got a pretty good premise. And yeah, I don't know. I was pleasantly surprised. Look, it's not the best thing you'll ever see, but I would give it a go. And because I'm assuming most people have extremely low, what's it called? What did I just say? Extremely
Attention
low.
spans?
No. I think people have extremely low standards and expectations when it comes to Marvel TV shows. And I think this is a nice, refreshing thing. It really is. It carries on from WandaVision, and WandaVision was one of the better ones for Marvel. And they got the same kind of they got the same crew. And production designer and everything like that. I was listening to a podcast.
Does the cine look kind of similar? Or?
No, not really. Because the cine for WandaVision was very the guy who did WandaVision, Matt Shackman, he's now doing Fantastic Four.
Cool.
Because that Fantastic Four is a period piece, and they were really happy with what he did there. But I'm pretty sure it's a different director, but the crew is the same, and I was really pleasantly surprised with it, and I'm very intrigued to see where they go with it.
Nice.
And very, very happy. I do suggest going giving it a shot. It's probably not something Austin would like, just because there's not a lot of
action.
Yeah, 1-2 hooks. But there's nice little supernatural elements to it, which I think is something that we haven't really seen a lot of, but maybe touched the base of with Marvel. But yeah. Very good. I'm very happy with how that turned out. Now, I started watching The Penguin.
Oh, is that out?
Yeah, that came out the same time. Well, I'm almost finished season 1. Sorry. Almost finished episode 1. Oh. They only released one episode.
Was that you were watching when we walked in?
Yeah, and I got to say, it's it's pretty fucking good.
Okay.
It's like I've only seen a couple episodes of The Sopranos. But that's what I see people drawing similarities.
I've watched the whole show and I love it. So I'll have to watch.
I don't know how close it is to that, but it's it's a typical crime.
How many episodes are out?
Just one.
Okay,
and it's an hour 4 minutes.
Are you watching on binge?
It's on binge.
Okay, I have to resubscribe to watch.
But I can already say this is gonna I guarantee. I reckon he'll win the Emmy next year. It's because he's so good. Colin Farrell.
And he's so transformative.
And what's her name? Kristen Milotti. Who's playing? She was the How I Met Your Mother. No, you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I've seen.
Who plays the mum?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's playing the daughter of Carmine Falcone.
Oh yeah.
Because Carmine Falcone died in the Batman.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So it's
So this is a prequel to.
Yeah. No, it carries on from the Batman.
Oh right.
So it's just as literally the day after, Batman saved or whatever, and then basically there's no Kingpin of Gotham because Carmine Falcone is now dead.
Yeah.
So people are
picking up
fighting,
the scraps,
and fighting for the top.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you see at the start of the episode, Falcone's son is trying to take over, and then you see Oz get into the mix of it. I think I've 20 minutes left, but
that's great.
Yeah, it's just such high quality, and it's you can tell it's just so different from like Marvel.
Yeah.
It's just a very serious and like you can tell it's like a proper TV show.
Yeah.
Not saying Marvel's not a proper TV show. I just think they have a different vibe.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can imagine Matt Reeves. It's a Matt Reeves TV show.
Did he direct it?
I don't think he directed it, but like he
had some
produced
influence.
it.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's his universe, and it feels exactly like the Batman.
Oh,
so
sick. Yes, because I adore the Batman movie. So
well. Cinematography is incredible. The writing's already incredible. And you couldn't. I was really feeling the tension of the first. Like
that's good.
Like I mean, from what I've seen, like really feeling the tension, which I thought was fantastic. So it's got. I think the ratings for this has got 89% on Rotten Tomatoes critics. Not sure what the audience is. Agatha's got 79% critics, and then like high on the audience as well. But yeah, so definitely go give that a watch.
Nice.
It's only the first episode. Another series TV show I've been watching is F-Boy Island.
Oh yeah.
Also on binge.
Season 2, right?
Whoa, how do you know?
Because I know people that have worked on that stuff.
Oh really? Who?
It's a Warner Brothers production.
Of course, yeah. Anyways, fantastic show again. I'm more
I
of
heard that season 2's been better than the first season.
Yeah, well, I started watching season 1 with Sarah and her mates, and then they went off and watched the rest without me, so I didn't bother finishing it. So I watched.
Is it actually entertaining?
Bro, it actually is.
I kind of want to like watch it.
Just give in. Give in, bro. Who cares what people think? Just give it a watch, bro. You're there just saying how much you fucking hate these people like 90% of the time. It's like, why would he do that? Why would she do that? Like, oh my god, she can't be serious. Oh my god, it just makes you feel better about yourself. But it's also a really good show. Abby Chatfield, I think. I think Abby Chatfield hosts that. She's pretty funny. But yeah, that's good as well. So that's been my TV show watching, I'm pretty sure. And now we get onto the movies. So I saw 2 films this week. I saw Blink Twice and It Ends With Us. Which, I'll let you guys have your little fun in the chat there. I didn't even bother talking about it.
Yeah, I would like to hear your
because you know what? I gave myself 2 very intense movies to see in freaking a week, literally days apart.
What do you want to start with?
We'll start with Blink Twice. So I texted you straight after because I know you watched it, and I mean, obviously people are going to deal with it. Have you seen it, Indy? No? Okay.
It's sort of heavy source.
It is, and that's the thing though. I didn't expect it to be. Like I thought it was just going to be a regular thriller.
What did you think about that reveal?
Oh yeah, I thought it was a fantastic reveal. I just want to preface like this the movie, amazing. Like it was well fantastic, well directed, well done to Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah.
Probably best performance of Channing's career.
Yeah, he was good in it.
So I thought it was a fantastic movie, but I just think it was a bit too much for me. And I'm not like, they put a trigger warning at the start, and like obviously it's directed towards more the females that the trigger warning is for, or maybe males as well. But it wasn't directed at me. I'm like, all right, let's see. I don't know what that's.
I don't know. For me, I think that reveal of what was happening was just a little bit too like crass for me. Like it was.
What does that mean?
Like too. I don't know if that's the right word, but
like
just
smash bang. Like
it was too much. Just like, oh, that's what's happening, instead of like I thought it was just gonna be more of a complex like story reveal. So like that actual initial thing, I was like, oh, that's a bit like, oh, it's that. Okay.
Yeah.
Shit. But then like I liked all the little other details around it.
Like the opening shot,
how that came about, and like the other, and how they twisted it to get revenge, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So. No, I agree with you. I loved. That's kudos to Zoe Kravitz. Like littering, like the opening shot. You don't know what it is. It was very much like a Jordan Peele, like your opening shot, which you like.
I see it as a mix between Get Out and Glass Onion.
Yeah. Okay, I see that. With I can't believe that the twist was what it was.
That's what I mean. It was just like, oh, it's.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's a bit like.
Wow. Okay. This is a movie. Yeah. I'm like, you wouldn't. I'm like. It's like when they introduced Hitler at the end of The Kingsman as the post-credit scene.
Yeah, it's just like, oh.
It's just like,
it's like, I guess it makes sense, but it's like quite heavy.
I'm like, why would you do that kind of thing? But hey, if she's going for shock factor, geez.
At the same time, it's like fair enough to address that.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Like it's an important thing to, I guess, address, but.
Yeah, but like, fuck.
Pretty heavy-handed,
yeah, cooked. I think it was a bit too much for me. I came out of it like really anxious, actually. Like I think it was just overwhelming, just like anxious, and just like they kept going. And I think it was you who explained like compared to Don't Worry Darling, where they just like they do the reveal, then that's it. They go into it. I'm like, oh God, I wish it was like Don't Worry Darling.
No, but I actually preferred that.
Okay, you know what?
Because I liked all the plot things that unfolded after that initial reveal.
Yeah.
And it was like, here's how we're going to go about it and flip the table and that kind of stuff. So
great movie. I think fantastic debut. I think Zoe's a fantastic director.
She did well.
We were talking about like that as well. It's just like you start seeing now these actors become fantastic directors.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it goes vice versa. I think in order to be I think you can be a good actor, right? And then you can be what is it? You can be I had it in my head. It was something like you can be a good director, but to be a great director, you need to understand acting, and then maybe it's vice versa. Yeah. But I don't think it's vice versa the other way. I think you can be a great actor without having to know about directing. But for directing, I think it's really important to know about acting.
I also got an email about, you remember I applied for that acting course, but I couldn't do it?
No.
So there was an acting course that I did a trial for, like a 6-week workshop.
Oh, yes, I know that.
In like September or whatever, and I ended up being too busy. Or August. But apparently it's opening up again in November.
Okay.
Which is when I come off Idol. So I'm probably going to do it, I think.
All right, well,
November.
Let's do it.
I'll message you about it.
Message me about it, and we'll suss it out. I'll also talk to Taha about what he thinks as well, like acting wise, and what's the best kind of thing
be good.
But yeah, so that was really good. I gave that 4.25 out of 5 for that, and then I saw It Ends With Us. Now I was just, as everybody was, laughing at the kind of controversies surrounding that film, just like how basically allegedly Blake Lively had just like taken over the whole production, and just like, you know, Ryan Reynolds supposedly rewriting certain scenes, and then her apparently editing certain scenes behind the director's back, and apparently she was their intimacy coordinator on set, Blake Lively, like they didn't get one, like stuff like that for a film like that, and the fact that they didn't have like a...
Wait, she was her own intimacy coordinator?
She was the set's intimacy coordinator. Right. So they didn't hire a intimacy coordinator. It was just her. So
that's weird.
That's allegedly. This is what I've been told, right?
Yeah.
And then like, so I'm just here, and then hearing all this shit, you of course you get like a negative connotation. And you know, I it wasn't my choice. I wanted to watch The Wild Robot, but you know, Sarah would have watched this. That's good. Yeah, well, I wouldn't know. Sarah would have watched It Ends With Us. So it's Sarah's favorite book of all time, right? So we went into it, and the start was shocking, and you can tell it just felt off, like the opening scene, like they're like on a rooftop or whatnot, and just like I have a big feeling that that's the one that Ryan Reynolds rewrote, because it felt so different in tone, like to the rest of the movie, and it did have a bit of, it smelt like Ryan Reynolds, but it was just like, it was a bit, and that put me off at the start. So I already went into it with a negative mindset, and then that scene just put me in an even negative mindset about it. I'm like, wish I was watching The Wild Robot. And then we kept watching, and it got way better.
Oh.
It got increasingly better and better and better. And you can, it ended up being a really good movie. I tell you what, I'm pretty upset with, I'm not upset, but I'm just like, I wish this film didn't have the controversies surrounding it. Yeah. Because it obviously is telling a very important story. And people now aren't going to take it seriously, or are not going to go watch it, which was my mindset about it. Because it's
negative publicity can work for or against a movie.
Yes.
Because sometimes people watch it because of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then other times they hate on it.
Exactly. But I also think it should have gotten a trigger warning. What was really fucked about it was the fact that Blake Lively was promoting this as a rom-com and telling all their mothers and daughters to come dressed up in florals to come watch it. And you get in there, and it's about like domestic violence and like really bad domestic violence, and like, you know the word I'm thinking of. Like it's just I'm like, why did she do this? Like I'm like, it just left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
But looking objectively at the movie itself, I think other than the start, it turned out to be really good. And I was able to kind of see the message that they were trying to portray out of it. And it just, I found myself just, you know, I got out of my head about that first scene and kind of fell into it and was barracking for the good characters, and I think it told a really good story. The themes were apparent and the actors were fantastic, and that's actually I wouldn't say the actors are fantastic. I think the story was there were certain actors that were very good, it's I think it was a good movie, and I think purely for the fact that they got their message across, I gave it a good 4.25, exactly the same as Blink Twice. And it was
nice.
Kind of cooked me putting myself in that situation, not knowing. I mean, I didn't know Blink Twice was about that, but seeing the movies with very similar heavy themes, like Dazed Apart, was just a lot for me, guys. I'm like, just get me in that wild robot cinema.
You have to watch that next.
Yeah, I do. But there's a lot of good movies out. Good movies coming out. There's Transformers out as well. Which
Did you see the trailer for Mickey 17?
I did.
Do you think it looks good?
You know what? I thought it's not what I thought it was going to look like.
It's like more comedic.
And it looks like your typical, like, I don't know. I feel
but that's sort of Bong Joon-ho's style. Like,
I was expecting. Was Parasite A24?
I don't think so.
Okay,
it's foreign film.
It wasn't. Okay, I was expecting more of like an A24 feel compared to like a Warner Bros feel, and it feels very Warner Brosy. I'm not saying it doesn't look good. I'm saying it looks very. I think it will be great.
I know what you mean though.
Like it's, it just. You're right. It seemed a bit more comedic than I thought.
Yeah. How good
excited.
Is it how Rob Pattinson changes his voice to
Bro,
sound
so Sam sent me the trailer. She's like, what's up with Robert Pattinson's voice? Yeah. I'm like, it's acting, baby. Let's go.
It's great.
But yeah, no, that's exciting. You got some good. What films are you looking forward to that are coming out?
That one, Nosferatu, which I still haven't seen the original yet, but I definitely want to check.
Yeah. I think, you know what? I think I actually started watching the original for like an assignment at school. But I never, because we're learning about German expressionism. Oh yeah. At one point.
Yeah.
Also, AFTT, right? Were you part of AFTT the whole time, or was there a point where then you were like classified as a student of JMC?
No, I was at AFTT for 2 years and then transferred over to JMC. So I became a JMC student. I got an advanced diploma at AFTT.
Yep.
And then transferred over to JMC to get the bachelor.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Did you study like all the German expressionism and stuff like that?
Not really. Like I had all the same classes as you. Well, no, I didn't actually. Some were fast tracked and some I skipped completely because I already did the equivalent units at AFTT.
Yeah, fair.
So I don't think I did that, but I did do some foreign film stuff with Anton.
Yes,
he's really good.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, no, I watched Nosferatu. Well, I started watching it.
Yeah.
What other films?
It's really old though. It's like 1928.
Yeah.
You know what I'm not excited for?
What?
The new Mufasa movie. Holy crap.
Really?
It looks awful. Why are they doing another live? That should be animated. It would have been beautiful. Why are they doing another live action Lion King when the first one's... Well, I didn't see the first one.
It just looks so bad. You haven't seen the first one, cuz.
I've seen the original Lion King, the beautiful animated one, not the live action one.
Boycotting it?
Yes.
Why? Come on. It's not that bad.
It doesn't have the same expression in the animals' faces.
Oh, well. It's got Barry Jenkins. He's directing it. So
yeah, that is true. But
might be all right.
Wicked also looks pretty
Wicked looks wicked, bro. No. I love that shit.
Just CGI. Ariana Grande, can she act? Probably not.
Bro, she was an actor before she was a singer.
Yeah, in a Disney show. Come on.
Oh, you're such a hater. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I am a hater.
It's got John M. Chu. He did In the Heights. He did Now You See Me. Fantastic director. I'm looking forward to Wicked.
We'll see. But I think it's just going to be the same as the play. I do like the play better.
Well, obviously. What, they're going to stray from the play? But the thing is, they're doing Wicked in 2 parts, right? No. Listen.
What?
I got a feeling they're doing They're doing the play in the first part, and the second part is what happens after that we actually haven't seen. So, go, mate. Shush.
Wait, what's that?
What do you mean?
What's the part that we haven't seen?
Have you seen the play?
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, there's the time jump.
No, well, like it shows that she's alive, and then it shows that nothing happened. Well, then it goes, okay, what's going to happen next? And the show just finishes.
Does it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Maybe need to touch up on your Wicked knowledge, man.
Fair enough. Well, that's probably going to be even worse because they don't have source material. What do you think? Do you reckon? Speaking of singing and musicals, do you reckon Joker 2 will be good?
Oh. Look,
I'm actually gonna watch it, and
I might watch it in IMAX. It was. Do you want to go see it in IMAX? Oh wait, no, sorry.
Is it shot in IMAX?
It is shot in IMAX.
Really?
Yeah.
I might watch it then.
Yeah, so you know what? The first one didn't get that good reviews either. Like, look back on it, it's like 60% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
And that's why when everybody's freaking out about the second one not getting good reviews, like, just look back at the first one, bro. The first one the critics hated, and the audience score was
69%.
Like, yeah, and the audience
I love
score.
that movie.
So did I. That's why I think you can't judge it.
Okay, fair enough.
But I mean, it's Todd Phillips, Lady Gaga, Joaquin Phoenix. I think it's going to be decent. I don't think it's going to...
The new one rated 63, which isn't that different. So
no, I don't think it's going to, like, shatter, you know, stereotypes and just, like Joker did, because I feel like you can only do that once. I'm not sure why they made a second one. I mean, I know why.
Yeah,
but, like, money. But, yeah.
Do you think Megalopolis will be good?
No. And I don't, like, I really...
But you just don't like anything.
Well, I don't think it's going to be good. I don't... Francis Ford Coppola. Have you heard of the shit that's going on that set?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the movie itself.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to... For me, it's hard to, like,
he hasn't made a movie in a very long time, though. So
exactly.
We'll see. It could be.
I don't think it's going to be good because he had no execs. It was just him funding it. So he was in control of everything. Yeah,
you're right. He's probably lost his touch. But we'll see. We'll see.
Probably lost his mind as well.
Well, there's a new Hellboy movie coming out.
Yeah, have you not seen the source for it?
No. What the heck?
People are liking this because it looks a bit more indie feeling.
Yeah, right. Smile 2. I like the first one. Did you see it?
I don't know why they made a second. Actually, yes, I do. We always know the answer. It's just money, cuz.
Yeah. Venom 3.
Yeah, I mean, they just released...
There's a Venom horse. That's cool.
They just released... Have you seen the most recent trailer? They're introducing... what's his name? The King of Symbiotes.
I don't care.
Oh, okay. No, it's sick. He's like a... I don't know how they're going to do it.
Oh, yeah, sorry, go on.
Because he's like a Thanos-level villain in the...
right, I'll probably kill him off in 20 minutes.
Yeah, his name's Null. He's the King of Symbiotes in the comics.
Oh, there's that A24 movie Heretic that's coming out.
Oh, you know what I'm excited for?
That might be good. What?
The We Live in Time.
Yes.
Andrew Garfield.
I'm excited for that too.
I'm ready to cry my eyes out, bro.
Gonna be good.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. All right, should we move on to the progress?
Wait, one more movie.
Yeah, go.
Gladiator 2. Do you think it'll be good?
Well, first I got to watch Gladiator 1.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, you got to see it. That's one of Walken's best roles.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Ridley Scott, so we'll see.
Really?
Yeah, just haven't connected with his films. Anyways, all right, progress.
Yes.
This week. Daniel.
Progress. I have nothing to talk about. I've told you. I've literally already said all of it.
Just talk about your films.
I'm talking.
Have you started entering into film festivals?
Not really. I already talked about the short of the week stuff.
Yeah.
That's all I've done.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I want to talk about this. What is this bullshit you're thinking of putting your film straight to YouTube?
Oh no, it was just a temptation. I'm not gonna do it, but like it's more the whole idea of like. And this is actually an interesting topic.
That's why I want to talk about it.
Yeah, so in today's day and age, do film festivals actually get you anywhere?
Me and Lockie were literally talking about this as well.
Yeah.
In regards to like the on time.
Especially like lower end film festivals.
And it's so political these days.
Exactly. It's all half of them are rigged.
No, I don't think low end or even mid tier will get you anywhere. I think upper mid tier to high.
Well, that's what I mean. So it's like, what's the point of like?
Because you can get into those upper mid tiers, cuz.
With this film.
Yes.
I don't know. We'll see. I'll try a couple.
Try a couple, bro. Yeah. Like the Flickr Roads Fest that Jack got into. I think you should do a couple.
Yeah.
And I think where your mindset is, and correct me if I'm wrong, you just want to get it out there. And people to see it, and you feel like, I mean, number one, you have the doubt in your mind that it's not going to do well in festivals, but also it's like
It's not really that. It's more just me trying to think of the overall picture of like, where is this actually going to get me, or where can I get the best, and where can I make the most opportunity from this film? Is what I'm.
And I've been having that exact same thought this week. Like I've had calls with Taha in terms of, I mean, mine, we're kind of like forced upon ourselves, like in terms of the runtime and what would be the best platform to get most people to see it. And there's options that you can actually apply to have your film on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And you can do it that way. But
it's like, how many people are going to watch a short film on Amazon Prime? Like, if you're realistic about it.
I don't know. It's just another way to get it out there.
It's for sure, absolutely.
Another platform.
It is, yeah.
And you can get people to rent it and stuff like that. So,
I guess it doesn't hurt to just search as many avenues as you can.
So you're thinking YouTube is the best platform to do this?
I don't know. I haven't like deeply thought about it. I need to just sit down and like actually like I think map out a full distribution game plan for it.
Yeah, and that's what same. And I think that's something that I think we would never really touched on in fucking film school or anything like that. And
it's also because we get so obsessed with the creative and how to make the thing that we don't really think about where it's going to go afterwards.
Exactly, and that's how I was with all my previous films. But this one, I'm like so hell bent on it being different.
Yeah.
But I think
sometimes you have to think about where it's going to go though, because it's like if you make something too obscure, like who's going to watch it?
Yeah, like you want to, for sure. But then it's like you get into that thing. Are you making it for a specific thing?
Yeah, and then are you just making a copy and paste? And
exactly. Well, I really think you should try at least those horror festivals and stuff like that.
I will.
Get your name out there. What else? Music video.
Yeah, I haven't. I literally only looked over it the other night, maybe Thursday night, I think.
Yeah.
Just open the Premiere project. There's a lot of like effects and things, so I'm sort of like figuring out
what's stopping you from getting rid of all the previous editors' work and doing it yourself.
I was actually considering, or just making two versions. So like taking the one that the editor's done and just adding, like polishing it, and then making a whole new version that is the way that I intended when I directed it and Dave shot it. And then sort of just showing the artist and being like, which one do you like better? And then we'll just go with that.
So they completed it. They completed an edit of the music video.
It's like a rough cut. Okay, or like it's probably somewhere between a rough and a fine cut.
Yeah, okay.
It just, it needs a few tweaks, but it's like mostly there.
Yeah, right. Okay. So. All right. Now, what else have we got? The Barista film.
Yeah, I haven't done anything with that.
No?
No. I mean, finished The Debts We Owe, and I've only just looked through the rushes for that as well.
Yeah. Did you make notes on the rushes?
The crowdfunding's going well for that, actually.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Got 2,600.
Damn.
Yep. So it's going pretty well. So if you guys would still like to donate, go to my Instagram.
How long is it?
Link in bio.
How long's the campaign?
It's actually like indefinite for now.
Really?
But we might take it down soon. We'll see.
Can you do that on Indiegogo?
It's not on Indiegogo. It's a different website. I'm not sure what it's called.
Yeah,
Emma set it up. But
okay, right. Yeah. And what are you aiming to get?
Well, $4,000 is our goal that we were aiming for. So pretty close.
That's not bad at all. Yeah. And that's going to cover everything, right?
Everything, yeah. Production costs and into post as well for our colorist and our sound designer and all that jazz.
How are you going on promoting that? Like, how are you promoting it?
Just mainly our socials and stuff. So it's just friends and family that have donated mostly.
Are you sending it around, like, individually to people that you think can donate?
Is that what you did? How did you go about promoting yours?
It's your first time, so I would. The third time, I'm very hesitant on sending it.
Yeah, because you don't want to annoy people.
Yeah, so I left it up. So I think I did my campaign for 60 days. And 50 of the days, I just let people find it. And the last 10 days, I texted people that I, like, guaranteed that I knew would want to put in, and I sent it to them. But the first time around, sending it to everybody directly.
Really?
But here's the thing for you. It's like, do you do that now, or do you do it for like a film that's entirely your own?
Yeah.
Because you only have a couple pieces of ammo for that.
You're right. I don't think I would do it for myself.
Yeah.
That's not really my thing.
Okay. Fair enough. Was that it for you?
Yeah. No, okay. Let's talk about you, because you're the one that has more to talk about.
All right, let's start with the horologist. So I think last time we were talking about, I got the rough cut, and I went through and I made notes for Lockie.
Yes. And
he's getting around them this weekend. I think, honestly, after those notes are put in place, I think, honestly, we could lock it off.
Yeah?
Like, it's really? I mean, it's not that hard of a film to edit.
Like, are you happy with, like, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think if we're talking
it's everything
about,
you wanted it to be, like, what?
100%. It's turned out exactly.
Such an easy post.
It's so easy, man. But like, Lockie's been putting in a lot of work.
So there's no concerns, like there's no.
Well, I mean, there's the run time, but I see that as a separate problem. That I've got to figure
but is there
out.
anything else where you're like, oh, this section doesn't work, this that? Like,
no.
Everything works the way it's supposed to.
I think the sound might be a bit of an issue later on, but I say that as kind of like an external thing.
But all the beats are there, like all the feelings.
I wish that I got the characters to take their time a bit more on certain things, because things happen very quickly, and there's moments where
it's
the
such
characters,
a hard thing to know.
It is, and like there's moments where the characters like are making a decision, and I feel like they make it a bit too quick.
And I think that's why it's important to always just get variation of even movements and blocking and things. Like just let moments do moments a few different times, like opening a door quicker or walking over and
1,000%.
taking a second, taking a beat, like get all those variations on set, because you don't know in the edit how it'll flow.
Well, even then, I thought on set I did that, and bear in mind I talk about this. It's very like 1 or 2 moments, and like people at home wouldn't notice it, but like I do, right?
Of course.
But it's like 1 or 2 things, and it's like I wish they just took their time a bit more with that. But on set, like I thought we got that. But it's just when you
look at the grand scope, how everything cuts together, it's different.
I'll tell you what, but like going through the rushes, it was hard between certain takes, and I've had to learn to really weigh up the pros and cons of certain things. Like okay, like for example, the one take, right? We got a couple different variations of it, and I had to like compare both. I'm like, okay, in this one she you get him putting on the goggles, but in this one she has a better performance. Which moments are more important to show? But then do you prioritize performance and stuff? It was actually quite hard. I think I did the best that I could, and there were little moments that I wish I hung on to a bit more or teased a bit more and stuff like that. But I feel like that's indie filmmaking. Like we don't have a lot of money to go back and refilm and rehire out everything and stuff like that. So I feel like those are the things that you would go get. But it still works perfectly. And I'm extremely happy and proud of it. Like I think the number one thing that I'm happy with it is that it works without music. Like that's my number one thing. It's like, I've had 2 films which I feel like have been carried a bit by the soundtrack in moments to make people feel right, whereas the visuals do it all themselves. I think that's good. Everything's kind of, I did so much preparation before, which is why I think it's so easy now, like in terms of like even like there's a part of the film, actually I won't say it, but like where we interact with like the aspect ratio and like that changes and stuff like that. And like just seeing how impactful that is. And then there's been moments where I've been watching back, seeing it all together where, this part is more impactful because we built up to it and stuff like that. And I think it's really good. And I've played around with like temp music and stuff. And I think the end of the film was really important for me to nail. And I've been having so many ideas on how we're going to do it. And I think I've kind of like nailed it down, the ending of it for temp music wise, on how I'm going to do that. And it's just been really cool to see it with music, even though it's not our music, but will be good for Federico to kind of get a reference off. So, but yeah, so there's that. I think once Lockie puts these notes into play, then what's going to happen is me and Taha will watch through it, like when it's basically the fine cut. We'll get his notes if he has anything that I agree with, basically. Sorry, that sounds really bad. But like if we both made it was like with writing, like if we both met a common ground, I would like change over if I understand, but some things I didn't agree with, and then we'll talk about it. But I think that's what's to come, basically. And then he wants to send it off to get feedback, which I don't necessarily love the idea of, but if we have the time, I guess maybe that's something we could do.
Sometimes it helps,
and especially like externally, but I just don't think you can judge until you see everything all together.
But then also it's like it might be too late at that point, like to change particular things, or harder, or cost more money. So I think and Taha's just a hard man to get into touch with. Like, he's always busy, and it's like, fuck, I can't, we have a strict schedule, so it's like if time allows, we'll get feedback. If not, then you just... Are you going to wait till... Am I going to see it before the premiere? No. Okay, fair enough. Nobody's going to see it before the premiere. Fair enough. So you're not going to send it to people for opinions? No. Because I've showed Baron to quite a few people. Yeah, cool. And what do they think? The same as me? Yeah, I mean, some people have had certain critiques about different things, but it's always... Well, it's too late, though, to change anything, right? I'm not going to change anything. But it's like, you hear it and you go, oh, it's interesting to hear what certain people think works and what doesn't. And it's interesting because you try and look for the things that, like, multiple people say is an issue, and then you go, oh, maybe that's an issue. But it seems to be like the few things that people have said is an issue it's always different.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, at least there's not one thing that everyone's like, this doesn't work.
Then you can kind of suss out what's subjective.
Yeah, it seems like most of the few things that people have flagged are subjective because only one or two people have flagged it. And other people have been like, no, that's good. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Brilliant. Well, mate, I'm keen to see that in November. Yeah?
Yeah, I think we'll do November.
Exciting times, my friend. But yeah, that's where I'm at. We are ahead of schedule. We're supposed to have a rough cut by the end of this month, and we had a rough cut about a week and a half ago. So
very good.
We're ahead, and we're supposed to have a fine cut by the end of next month. I think, we may have a fine cut in the first couple of weeks of next month, so instead of the end. So
yeah, nice.
Yeah, everything's going well on time, nice. And yeah, well, I'm excited for what's to come. Very happy with it. Keen to see the grade, keen to see the music. Just hopefully, me and Taha did have a call about the duration and stuff like that. And we're both kind of under the idea of, look, I'm going to make the best movie that I can right now with what I've got. And then once we're happy with it, that's when we'll talk about cutting it down. But the moment it starts to cut into story and shit like that, we stop. And like, we're both kind of like, we agreed whatever we knew kind of when we were writing it, it needed to be this long to tell the story. And we're like, look, unfortunately, but maybe fortunately, it's the length that it is. And whatever it ends up with, we're going to find a distribution path that fits it. Whether that not be festivals, whether that be something else, kind of going through that same mindset of what can I do to maximize the path and how it's going to affect our career and stuff like that, which we're still yet to talk about. So we'll be nailing down a distribution path for that once we finalize everything. And it's very exciting, having Taha along and thinking of things that I haven't thought of before. So yeah, we'll see how we go. And yeah, let's do you want to move on to the last segment? Alrighty, we have now reached the dependent variable, and this week, Dan, what have we prepared for hours on end to do for this segment?
Well, we've got some questions provided by our talented writer, Mr. ChatGPT.
We are doing ChatGPT discussion points this week. All right, we have 10, and I reckon that we
should we speed run?
Yeah, speed run. What are we doing? Like a minute?
Yeah, let's
minute
do
each. All right. Do you want to? Who's setting the timer? Do you want to say Indy? Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
So I'm just gonna tell you. Wait, start it after I finish saying the question. All right. So, first discussion point: the role of AI in filmmaking. How is artificial intelligence reshaping storytelling from script writing to visual effects, and what are the ethical implications? Ready? Go.
That's a good question, and also quite meta coming from ChatGPT.
Yeah. How do you think it's going to improve the filmmaking industry, and do you think it will?
I hope that it's only going to be used for things that are kind of like automatic.
Yeah.
Like for example, this, like to help you provide the basic ideas for something, and then you would branch out and flesh it off into like a proper fully formed idea. So I hope that we can always have people being creative and not the robots.
Yeah.
And it's also just like, it just mashes, like, because people want to work to make things that are creative because we love creative.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't even think that they should be at the ideas making thing. I think that the AI should only be implemented to make things quicker on set.
Yeah, I agree. Just for like processes, right? Not for creativity. Yeah.
Even like AI when it comes to like, you've seen those machines powered by AI for like cameras, like staging and stuff like that. I think that's where it benefits. Even like when it comes to preparation and stuff like that. Especially with ADs, with scheduling a full-length feature film.
Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, we'll go to the next one. Alrighty. So, and let's go cinematic universes versus standalone films. Are interconnected universes diluting creativity in filmmaking, or do they offer new storytelling opportunities?
These are good questions.
Damn. All right, and go.
You know what's interesting?
What's interesting?
How we spoke about Austin's script and how... Like I said that it relied too heavily on his previous short film.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool, but like only us would understand.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's like most of the people who watch it aren't going to know what it's about.
Yeah,
which is,
But then that kind of says the question, are those interconnecting universes diluting creativity? Because he already has a safe net of something he's already created.
I think so, because they're relying too much on fan service to get people interested.
Everything's these days are just interconnected. Like
I think it should be used in the sense that like you can use existing IP to get people excited, but then you need to branch off and create something that's genuinely like good on its own. Or like Better Call Saul, which is a spin-off of Breaking Bad, but it's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Stands on its own.
But like build a foundation first.
Yeah. 100%.
Instead of going straight into it, which is what I think Zack Snyder tried to do with this.
Yeah, it's like you should only use the IP to get people watching, but not for the actual film itself to stand alone, or the project, whatever it is.
Boom. Good. How do we do that? Ooh. Okay. Next. Alrighty.
Do you want to just say stop when it hits 1 minute?
Yeah, just go stop, or come over and like.
Yeah, preferably.
Yeah, straight into Dan's face. All right. Okay. Question 3: representation and authenticity. How important is authentic representation in film? Can a story be told effectively by somebody outside of that experience?
These questions are so good.
Go.
That is a sensitive topic, isn't it? I personally think if somebody has done the research, because it's like that's like saying, oh, you can't make a movie about a murderer if you haven't murdered someone.
Yeah,
like, you should be able to make a movie about anyone if you're doing it in a way that's authentic. If you've spoken to people who've gone through that experience
and done your due diligence.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Right?
Sure.
Do you agree?
I do. I think it crosses the line when you're like, if you know you're a white person portraying an African American. I mean, obviously
portraying is different.
Yeah,
I'm just talking. I thought it was about writing. Like if you're directing or writing.
Oh, I think it just means in general.
Oh, okay. Well, it's different if you're acting because you obviously look a certain way, and it can be offensive to try and.
I think if it's a I think if it's like a non-fiction, right? Then I think if you do like for example, people are like not happy about. You know, a certain actor who's not of a heritage of a comic book character, like playing Doctor Doom.
Nah, that's alright because it's not.
Shit. Do you want to finish that thought?
I was just gonna say it's alright because it's not supposed to be direct.
Yeah.
Interpretation. Like
exactly.
it can be different.
Yeah, comic books change over time as well.
Yeah.
All right, the impact of streaming services. How have streaming services changed the audience's expectations and nature of film distribution? Are they fostering innovation or formulaic content? Go.
Yeah, obviously, distribution has changed massively in terms of. I feel like people go to the cinemas now more as kind of an event or like an outing.
Yeah.
If most of the time people want to just flick something on, they'll just watch it at home.
I think. But yeah.
I was just gonna say, I really miss like the middle budget movies being at the cinema.
Yeah.
Like $30-40 million because that's all in Netflix now, and you only get your indie films or your massive Marvel films.
Yeah. That's true. I think as long as everybody understands that the best and truest way to see cinema is on the big screen and they make that decision.
I'm with you.
But I feel like bringing up kids these days and stuff like that, I don't know. I mean, I would always be recommending them to go to the cinemas and stuff like that. But I guess you can't help it. Technology's changing and things are just, not everybody has the time, money and stuff like that to go do it. So, you know what? I think it's good because it has a bit of everything for everybody. You know, not everybody can afford or whatnot and have that time.
And if you have a good home system, like you can still watch a movie and get a good, close experience.
Yeah. All right, not bad. All right, last one. Number 5. Censorship and artistic freedom. How do filmmakers navigate censorship in different countries, and what impact does it have on their creative vision? Like, do you kind of have to be sensitive to other countries?
It's really interesting when you look at how different countries treat different things, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, European films, they're a lot more open with nudity.
Yeah.
And they'll just show it in a sense where it's like, I feel like in an American movie, if you see nudity, it's more of a sexual thing.
Yeah.
Whereas in Europe, it's just like, oh, this is the human body. It's the expression, art form, whatever.
Yeah. Also, I mean, we've seen nowadays lately with like the gay community and stuff, seeing those films, even if it's like a little kid, like The Eternals being blocked to release in China because they had like one same-sex kiss, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. It's like, fuck, I'm just stressed out because of the time limit.
But yeah, that's just different
How
cultures.
do you navigate that? Do you try and, like, if you're, it's a hard one,
you just got to know what it is you're making, I guess, and make it for a specific audience, and then
do you though?
Accept that it's not going to.
Yes, I think it's that. Yeah, I think the moment again you're making films for somebody else or another thing, you're fucking ruining the true vision of the actual story that's being told.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. The evolution of gender roles in films. Here we go. Alrighty.
Oh yeah, this is actually interesting.
Yeah.
Because
how have portrayals of gender evolved in cinema over the decade, and what does this say about societal changes?
Well, I think definitely like women used to have more of the damsel in distress roles, whereas now it's more women being independent, and they've almost flipped it. Sometimes now you get the man in distress and the woman saving.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, I guess it's just keeping up to date with society, really. And
do you think we are in a time where male-led roles earn more money than female-led roles? Or do you think that's outdated?
I actually think this is also kind of dependent on the genre.
Okay.
Because you have to think that. Yeah, because, well, I mean, you have exceptions. Like, you've got Alien, which is an action movie led by a woman.
Yeah.
Which still does well.
That's but that's franchise as well.
Yeah, but most action movies are going to cater to men, right? Because men just enjoy action, generally speaking, more. Mm-hmm. So, obviously, like, a lot of the time they're led by big army kind of men. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, it lives in that world, and it's what the male.
I still think though we are starting to get the breaking of those stereotypes, and you're seeing women-led stuff. You know, I was in. I want to finish this thought because I think it's important. Like I was at the Paramount upfronts this week, which Paramount it was this presentation that they were holding, and they were like announcing all the like shows and TV shows they got coming up, and there was a really, really nice thing. We had a show come on Paramount Plus this year called Fake. It was like an Australian-led drama. Who had she's one of Australia's biggest actresses, but she was in Puberty Blues or something. No, I don't know. It was so anyway, she's really famous, and the Paramount Plus thing, the show went really well, and they're like they see the dynamics changing in our industry, and they took that of like a female-led TV series, and they've just commissioned a new female-led TV series going off how well that did. So it's really nice seeing those kind of things happen in the changing parts of our industry.
I mean,
and
for me
like
personally, I couldn't care less who the protagonist is of the show,
as long as it's well written.
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
Yeah.
All right. Documentary versus fictional storytelling. In what ways can documentaries offer a more powerful narrative than fictional films? And when a documentary's portrayal considered manipulative?
Interesting. Look, I don't watch too many docos, so I don't have a strong opinion on this, but I do think documentaries hit different in the sense that you watch it and you're like, oh crap, that's actually real.
Yeah.
Like if you watch something about a serial killer and you're like, oh, that person was actually out there killing people.
And then, I mean, this is less about the serial killer docos, but then you got to factor in as well that the filmmaker may be providing a bias of some kind.
But that can go for both fiction and non-fiction.
That's true. That's very true. I don't think we know enough about documentary filmmaking to talk about that. So I think
I wouldn't mind watching more docos. I probably should.
Yo, you would not believe what the next question is.
What?
The future of film festivals. With the rise of digital viewing, what is the future of a traditional film festival? Are they still essential for emerging filmmakers? Think my phone is listening.
This is what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, this is what we're trying to figure out. I think, I don't know. I think again, with the changing nature of like streaming and stuff, I think you may start to see more online film festivals and stuff like, which we already
during
have.
COVID that happened, but what I realized is I think the main benefit of film festivals is the physical aspect of going to an event, meeting other people there that are like-minded and making some connections.
The networking opportunities.
That's the main thing.
Because you can't network over like a computer.
And that's why I'm saying it's not worth it unless you're going to one that's like of a decent level. So there are people there that are actually somewhat established. Yeah,
and I think it's also a bit like down to tradition. There are these big 5 festivals that everybody knows that have been set in stone for a while. That if you get into them, your career changes. But and I don't think that will change anytime soon because it's been going for so long. And they're big money makers each year. So I think they will kind of stay the same, but whether or not they'll be necessary, I'm still of
the mind that if you make work that is good enough and you find an avenue to put it out there and people see it, then you will get noticed.
That's the thing though. We're trying to figure out what those avenues are.
Okay, but it's been done both ways. There's a lot of people that have become famous from YouTube. Yeah. And there's people that have become famous from film festivals. So both work.
Are there any others other than film festivals and YouTube?
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know.
have to look into.
Guess that's what we're trying to figure out, eh?
Yeah.
All right, 2 more. The ethics of biopics. How should filmmakers approach the truth in biographical films? Is it acceptable to embellish or fictionalize aspects of a subject's life?
I think you have to in some case, because films are never going to be a complete representation of real life.
Yep.
It's always going to be that element of entertainment.
I think the biopic I saw, the Maestro, with Bradley Cooper and stuff, I don't think that was too entertaining, because I don't think his life was that entertaining.
Okay.
So I don't know.
But you know what I'm saying. Though.
Exactly. That's why
like
I think
dramatized.
I mean, you kind of do.
And you also you weren't there in that person's life, so you can never recreate it completely.
You can only go off third-person experiences.
Exactly.
And then you're filtering third-person experiences through your lens.
And memories, and it's never
It's never one for one. But all you can do, I think, to be respectful, is go down those avenues.
Yeah.
And do it the best you can.
Just do as much research as you can, I guess.
So you think it's okay to dramatize certain aspects of people's life, even if it wasn't true?
I think people know that when they go to watch a movie.
You reckon, though?
Well, if they don't, that's kind of on you. You know what I mean?
But wouldn't that be classified as lying?
Or defamation or something?
Yeah,
I don't see it that way. Do you?
Well, I mean, it depends. I feel like there's a line.
There definitely is a line if you really make some radical changes.
Yeah.
Then it's a bit dude, that's not what happened.
But like defamation, saying you did something when you didn't.
Yeah, no, I agree that's wrong. I think there is a line for sure. But, if some things are a bit different, it's all right.
Yeah, cool. All right, last one. The sound of cinema. How does sound design influence the emotional impact of a film, and why is it so often overlooked in discussions about filmmaking?
That is actually an interesting question. Why don't people think about sound? I think it's just kind of like an underrated sense, if that makes sense. When people think of a movie, they think of watching something.
Yeah.
They don't really think about the experience of hearing it.
Well, of course not. I've heard from all sound designers, the sound designer and a sound designer's job is to make it seem like there is no sound design.
Exactly. And that's
why people aren't looking out for it.
That's the role of every element within a film, right? It almost becomes invisible. It becomes this illusion if every element works together in harmony.
So then when you break it, like Ferris Bueller or something like that, you notice.
Yeah.
But I think it's very underrated because people, they don't notice it because they're so good at their job, and it's only when you start to study then you're like, oh shit. Then there's sorry.
I actually have another sort of one more quick topic I'd like to throw in there.
But wait, I just want to state there are other sound design elements that do elevate it. If you're in a horror film, not everything is diegetic. Yeah. So it's the way that you play with that can really lift the tensions and emotions. For sure. Anxiety through certain noises and stuff like that, which have been tested over time. So there's one argument about the natural aspect and not noticing anything, but then it can also be used, which again you may not even notice, but you will notice in the way that you feel. Yeah. What was your last one that you wanted to talk about?
What are your thoughts on filmmaking that draws attention to itself versus filmmaking that tries to be as invisible or seamless as possible, in the sense that you have all these filmmakers like Roger Deakins, cinematographers who try and get shots that are as beautiful as possible, that every time it pops up you go, wow, that's an amazing shot, or actors who bring out these performances, wow, that's an amazing performance, versus people that just do stuff that's so subtle and so real that you're just in it and you're not thinking about it not being real. Does that make sense?
Yeah, what's the question though?
What's your preference of filmmaking?
Okay, what's my preference?
Yeah, between those two. Or do you
my preference is the first one that you said.
The more pretty.
Yeah, because I go and watch
magic
a film
of cinema
to take me out of life. I don't want to be watching. Yeah. Sometimes I might want to be watching life, but the majority of the time I want to escape to a different world. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my preference. What about you?
I can really appreciate the artistry between both. I'm like you. I like there to be a little bit of magic in my films, but I also like a grittiness that brings it back down at the same time.
For sure,
That's why I love Stephen King films.
Yeah.
Because it's you've got this gritty world, but there's these supernatural elements that elevate it to just that bit of magic and excitement in the world.
So you like a grounded film with added elements onto it.
It's the perfect blend.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. I'm happy with that. We pulled something out of nothing.
We did. That was actually quite good.
That was good. Alrighty. That's it for episode 69.
Wait. Let's tie a little bow on this episode.
Yes, let's tie a little bow. And yeah, if you want to catch us, just the pre-production meeting, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, Pod, Instagram and TikTok. And we'll see you guys for episode 70 next time.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.